Hello and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. So good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? We love a Sunday special. We just love these episodes, right?
Great bite-sized little episodes. I have to say, I have been watching a show which someone DM'd me about, and I happen to already be watching Tell Me Lies.
I have gotten the DM as well.
We advertise it actually on U Up Instagram as well.
What's it about? What's the premise?
It's a great this isn't part of the ad, actually. I'm just a fan. I watch it. It's set in like 2007 in a college campus.
Okay.
And it's about this like very toxic relationship.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really bad.
Well,
but it's really good.
that would be my senior year of college.
This was my freshman year, and the people they're like my age, which is just so funny.
So they're freshmen.
There's freshmen and then there's seniors.
Okay.
Juniors. So it's like about people dating in college, but it's like really fucked up. It's not like there's no like cheesiness to it. It's like kind of dark.
Is it going to make sometimes those shows are so like true to life that I can't watch it.
It's a little like that, I would say.
Really?
Watch a couple episodes.
Okay.
It's very intense.
Oh God,
I
don't know. It's okay. So I guess we got to get into it because I've had people DM me like they would love to hear our opinions on it. I've had 3 people.
I have a lot of opinions on it, but I think you should watch it.
Okay.
And again, if by the time you hear this you disagree, then we should let us know.
We'll do maybe an episode on it.
Yeah.
To talk about it.
It's an entertaining watch.
Okay. How many episodes? Is it like a season? Is this
at this point I think there's 6 episodes out.
Okay.
They come out on Wednesdays.
All right.
So maybe we'll do it in the finale.
What streaming service?
Hulu.
Hulu?
Do you have Hulu?
Okay, so it's called Tell Me Lies, and I got them all. So
it's a lot of sex.
I love fucking, so sold me.
There we go. Let me know what you think when you start.
It might be a future Sunday special. People, if you're watching right now, we're on YouTube. Hello, YouTube land. Get subscribed to YouTube. Every episode, and especially a Sunday special, I feel like that's like the episode that you could be like in bed instead of like listening on your phone and while you're walking. Maybe you're having a hungover Sunday and you can just open up the laptop to us.
Yes, now you can watch us.
Have us in bed with you.
You've always wanted that.
That's what you've always been waiting for.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do the email. I got dates coming up.
Yeah.
I got shows. People, if you're listening right now, I am going to be in Timonium, Maryland this weekend. Magoobies, Jordana's favorite club. Richmond, Virginia. Boston, Massachusetts. Miami, Florida. And then New York City, Gramercy Theater.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. We're taping a special. We're making a baby.
It's happening.
We're having a baby. So, and the baby is a special of jokes. And it's
so
about
funny.
dating. It's about, being single.
Has your show changed since I last saw it? Because when I saw it was amazing.
When did you see it? It was a long time. It was
like
probably more than a year. So that was my
about
last time I did New York City.
Yeah, when last time you were in New York, I think you were at Caroline.
I was at Gotham.
Gotham, that was it.
Gotham is where I've always done like weekends. This will be it. So that one, then I could have put some of that on. A lot of that was like social stuff, and I think I've moved more towards talking about being single, talking about breakups, talking about things that are very, and body issue stuff that I've talked about here. But like, it's interesting because you should really tape something. Like, there's some comics that put out something every year. That's too soon to me. This is taking on a life from a year plus from what you saw. So I think there might be one bit from that. Okay.
Well, that was a great show. I love that show. So if it's anything like that, I think it's going to be amazing.
I'm going through a process of figuring out what from that I want to pull in.
Okay.
Because there's bits from that I like doing that I just never got to like put anywhere.
Yeah. I'll tell you my favorite parts after the show.
We'll go into
privately.
It. Privately.
Yes, and you'll get to see them on the...
Well, if you come live December 8th, but then we're going to put it out. We're going to, someone's going to...
You're going to see it somewhere.
You will see it. So let's get to the email. You ready?
All right. I could read it if you want.
It's a long one. This person really wrote a book to us.
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you want to read it?
Okay.
I'll let you read it.
Me. I don't read much, so this is my reading for the
This is
week.
for the year.
This is my year. Yeah. Are exes that stay friends just lying to themselves? Are you friends with any exes?
No.
Not one.
What is an ex? An ex is
Anything. Anyone that you've been romantic with, I will put as an ex.
people that I've hooked up with. Maybe I see them from time to time, and it's not weird. I would say that's as close as I get.
That's as close as you
yeah.
get. Because I think it's an interesting question, and I think our age has to do with it.
Okay.
I think at 24, you have this thought of, we'll be friends, or I want to keep this for the friendship, or
I've tried that.
It
Never
doesn't
work.
Here's what happens. What happens is people get married, get engaged, all these things happen, and your time for other people kind of gets utilized.
Yeah.
And unless you truly are friends, that time is spent with the people, you're not going to spend it with someone you
Right.
kind of half have this thing with.
Yeah, that ends like in your late 20s, I feel like.
But I think it's a very late 20s ending. Like it's more normal to end than it to keep going.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play the odds, like there's people that like I follow on Instagram now that I'm like, we used to like get drinks every now and again, and we had a history.
Okay.
No drinks are being had now.
No longer.
No longer.
Is there anyone that you had a romantic relationship with that you still hang out with?
One person
Okay.
that I can think of. And that was like a very short-lived, not romantic,
Okay.
very short-lived thing.
Would you call it an intimate friendship?
Like that we see each other
Mhm.
like in person?
Like you talk about your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say so.
And you still are friends with them.
And it is, I believe it's the extreme. It is not the norm.
Are they in a relationship?
No.
Is there any part of either of you that's like,
No.
why not give it a shot?
No.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's just no.
Right.
And like if someone was like, if I was dating someone new and they're like, well, how do you guys know each other? I would be like, yeah, well, this
say it was
happened
short.
once. What's
It
that?
was a short-lived scenario.
Very short-lived.
Okay.
But it would be a part of how I introduced them. If someone was like, well, how did you two?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be something I would hold back
yeah.
or hide.
That's fair.
So, and I know it's a no, like we both, it's a friendship. It's a
Right.
true friendship. But that's the thing. People people are too wide with what they call friends, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. What is a friendship, really?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
We're
what
gonna
this
tell
person
you.
Says. Yeah.
Jared and Jordana. Thanks for reading my email. I'm a huge fan of the pod. I started listening when I was going through a rough breakup during COVID and treated your dating advice like my dating therapy until I actually started going to a real therapy, which was a great choice.
B Squad Therapy.
Right.
That's what we should have called this.
That's a good name for it. I've subscribed, I've shared, and I would have gone to the live show in Chicago if I wasn't taking the bar exam that day. This week, I had an awkward encounter with an ex that left me feeling confused and disappointed, and I wanted to hear both of your takes. I started dating this guy my junior year of college. We dated for 3 years. We had a really great relationship, but for the last year of our relationship after college, I moved to Chicago for a job, and my ex got a job in Phoenix. We were best friends and loved each other a lot, but broke up after a year of doing long distance. While I thought the relationship ended only because of the distance, it really ended because I was his first girlfriend, and he wanted to experience dating, being on his own, and making friends for himself in a new city. I always thought we would be one of those college couples who eventually got back together because I knew he would eventually want to move back to the Midwest to be close to his friends and family.
So romantic for you.
Right. I knew he'd give up.
Yeah. Eventually wind up back here. Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to last out there on his own. He'd come crawling back to the Midwest. After our breakup, I started law school, made new friends, dated someone else for about a year, but we remained consistent friends. We continued to talk regularly on the phone, would see each other back in our Big Ten college town when our large group of friends went to a football game together every fall. We never hooked up after breaking up and even talked occasionally about our dating lives. In June 2021, June 2021.
So that's like a year and a half-ish ago, a little bit less than that.
Okay. I was right about one thing because he grew tired of Phoenix.
He couldn't make it.
Couldn't
Yes,
make it.
Yes.
I knew he was a loser. And moved to Chicago. Not just to Chicago, but about 2 blocks from my apartment. We fell into a friendship groove. We're back in each other's circles almost immediately. We would go out in groups, join the same trivia team, and would get coffee together about every other week. Again, we never hooked up. But the thought of us getting back together crossed my mind because we were finally in the same place and both single. After about 2 months of him being in Chicago, I called him and asked if he ever thought about us getting together again or had any feelings for me. And he said that he had thought about it, but was nervous if anything happened between us, that it would be too serious too fast, and so thought it would be best that we just stay friends. I felt slightly hurt at the time, but I wanted to keep him as a friend. So I continued to go on dates with other people and tried to find a balance of hanging out with my own friends and hanging out with the friends we shared. Fast forward to summer 2022. I graduated law school, and my law school friends set me up with someone, a friend of hers. He was someone I knew of in my law school class, but we didn't ever talk. I had a great time with this new guy, and we started seeing each other while we were both studying for the bar this past summer. Because of the stress of studying for the bar, with the new guy and I both isolated ourselves from our fun-having, non-bar studying other friends, and things started to get pretty serious pretty fast. By the time we took the bar at the end of July, we put a label on our relationship and have met each other's friends and family, and are going out to weddings with each other. We have discussed how this relationship feels different and are on the same page about seeing a future with each other. However, my friendship with the ex was always a low-key point of contention. On our first date, I told the new boyfriend that my biggest red flag was that I was friends with my ex and it wasn't a friendship I wanted to give up. I told him that the ex and I shared a friend group and we hung out one-on-one, but just for going on the occasional walk or getting coffee, and that nothing had ever really happened since we broke up 4.5 years ago. I've been super honest with my boyfriend from the start and even shared that last summer I thought something might happen, but nothing ever did, and we both decided that we would rather be friends. I would
Sounds
say,
like he decided that we
yeah,
should be friends.
she has a different,
Right?
she's retelling this in a different way.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be with you.
He said,
You
"Let's be
agreed to
friends." Right.
his and decided to be friends.
And to me, he was like, I don't really want to, I don't know if I want to marry you, so I'm not going to date you
Yeah.
again.
I'd fuck.
Yeah,
That's basically what he
right.
said.
Yeah.
I've been super honest with my boyfriend. Well, not really. I've been super honest with my boyfriend from the start. Even shared that last summer, I thought something might happen, but nothing ever did. And we both decided that we would rather be friends. This July, my ex asked me to go to a wedding with him. A bunch of our mutual college friends were going to be at this wedding, so I thought it was just him inviting me to be part of this group. The wedding was 2 weeks before the bar exam, and I was dating my current boyfriend, so I turned down the wedding invite by saying that I couldn't be partying at a wedding 2 weeks before the bar exam, and just in case he hadn't realized, I was in a relationship with the new guy. I told my ex that I was seeing someone back at the beginning of the summer when my boyfriend and I were first dating, so I don't think he thought it was anything serious at the time. There were no hard feelings. Fast forward to this week, I hosted a housewarming party over the weekend, and I invited my boyfriend and our law school friends, as well as my group of college friends and my ex. I just wanted the two of them to meet because I knew they both were apprehensive about each other. And I thought a party where they each had a group would be easy enough for them to both be at. My college friends ended up bowing out for the party for various reasons, and my ex was the only one who was still available to go. I told my ex that everyone bowed out and it would basically just be my law school group and my boyfriend, and I didn't want to make him uncomfortable because he knew he wouldn't know many people there. My ex ended up not coming. The next day, my ex and I were catching up on the phone, and he ended up telling me that he was not ever going to be interested in meeting my new boyfriend because asking me to be his wedding date was him making a move. And without saying he had feelings for me, he implied it. I told him that I didn't realize that was what he was asking in July, but I didn't really know what to say at the moment. The phone call got really awkward, so we both said we had to go, and afterwards I texted him, do we need to take a break from being friends, to which he never responded.
Very friendly.
Well...
There's your answer.
Yeah. Do you make any decisions in this? Does she have any wherewithal? Any thoughts on the? I'm sorry to get it done.
Well, yeah.
Do we keep being friends? No,
your friend.
I'm trying to. I've never been your friend. Okay.
That's the whole.
I felt like if I didn't tell my boyfriend, it would be dishonest of me. So I texted him after and said, there's something I have to tell you because I don't ever want to hide anything from you. I had a conversation with Blank tonight, and he mentioned that he asked me to go to the wedding with him in July. It was him making a move. I didn't realize that then, and I guess I was wrong about his intentions.
That wasn't him making a move. Him making a move would be making a move.
Right, no.
To me.
And her saying, I have a boyfriend now, so I don't want to go with you, is his chance to make that move.
Right.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't realize then, and I guess I was wrong about his intentions. I don't think he realized how serious things were between you and I back in July, but no moves or anything had been made since. I really didn't know about this, but I love you. I want to be honest with you, so that friendship is going to be done for a bit. Again, I'm sorry that I was oblivious, and I want you to know that you're my priority. I felt relieved to tell my boyfriend, but I'm really disappointed about the idea of my ex and I not being able to be friends anymore. At this point, we had been just friends for longer than we dated, and I felt like I had actually figured out how to be friends with an ex. Was I lying to myself about the two of us just being friends for 4+ years, or is there any possibility that our friendship can recover after this break? Thanks, foolishly a friend. What do you think?
If I were the current boyfriend, I would break up with her just for this being such a big issue for her.
Right.
It's like, why are you trying to keep this option open so intensely?
Right. It's not even...
She wanted to date him that summer before, and he said he wanted to be friends.
Right. And when the guy says to you, that was me making a move, and then you say, well, I have a boyfriend, and then you say to your boyfriend, I'm going to take a break from this for a bit? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How long? How long until you both are stop living in this land of crazy that you're friends? Like, what? I don't know.
The ex-boyfriend's only saying that because it's now out of the question, I think. And it's also like there's the idea of like, okay, now she's moved on. My option is now gone. And so now I'm like rethinking maybe I wanted the option.
Right.
I think that's a huge part of it that like is not being said.
What she has to admit to.
Like he didn't want to date her when she was single.
Right. He had the chance.
Yeah.
He didn't take it. He wanted to have everything a girlfriend would offer except commitment.
Yeah.
He basically was saying that, right?
Yeah, he said he wanted to be friends, but he thought it would be too serious if they were dating.
And that's her opportunity to go. And again, they're like stopping conversations midway through. When he says, it'd be too serious too soon, he's like, anything to respond to that? So you're cool with that? That's him offering a contract.
Right.
Like he's going, it would be too serious too soon. What do you think of that? And she's like, you're right. And it's like, okay.
Right.
I guess I don't want what you want.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes back to the beginning. She convinces herself that the breakup is first about
the
distance. Then she says to herself, well, now I realize the breakup was about I was his first girlfriend. He wanted to get, no. You are fooling yourself. The breakup was, I don't mind losing you forever.
Yeah.
That was the breakup.
Well, that's the only reason you break up with someone.
That's it.
Right.
Dunzo. I think
she does. It's funny though that she does mind losing him forever.
Right.
Even now.
Yeah, I'll let him go for a bit. What? Like a bit.
The crazy thing to me is like she's going to sacrifice the relationship that she has with the person who wants to be with her, assuming she likes him, for this person, for a friendship with this person who's never really her friend.
Here's the thing, and it's like, I don't know if this analogy will help because I know the demo of our listenership, but there's an old saying that everyone loves the backup quarterback.
Okay.
Everyone loves the backup.
Right. Okay.
The backup quarterback. There's, and there's the starting quarterback who plays every week, and you got to see him through the good and the bad, and then you have this backup. You're like, maybe the backup's better, but you ain't never seen. Well, it's not even a mistress. It's just you never seen the backup play first string.
Right.
This is the situation she's in. She's got a boyfriend that she's happy with. She's getting to know the family. They're in law school. They took the bar. He's committed. And that's the starting quarterback. And then she's got this backup quarterback that she's kept along that's never had to be committed to her, that's never had to like live in the real world with her. They've only been long distance and college.
Right.
He's never had to like stop his life to be a part of her life. All they've done is coffees and walks and seen each other at parties, which is all stuff he's doing because it's on his time and it's never during the hard times.
Right. And it feels good for him to have someone that he knows
Of
would
course.
date him. Which is why, again, I think it feels bad for him when he's like, oh, she's now off the market. She's taken. And so now I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I should have done so. Even if he does, when he had the opportunity to be with you, he didn't really want to.
Yeah, but even when he had the opportunity, he goes for casual.
Yeah.
When he had the opportunity, the wedding date, he went for the half ask, just like you said.
Right.
He didn't put himself out there.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
He didn't say, hey, you know what? All our friends are going to this wedding. I see this wedding as an opportunity for us to spend a fun night together and see, how we could be.
Right.
That would be a different way to ask.
Yeah. Plus, it's easy to say that was me making a move when you didn't make the move. Who knows if that was actually him making a move? It's just something he's saying. It was him making a move,
right.
Looking back,
right,
to
right.
justify him not wanting to hang out with you and your new boyfriend.
Yeah, to justify taking time away from his convenient schedule to be a part of your schedule, which is what you do for a friend. I wrote down, a friendship are people you make physical time for when it's not in your best interest.
Right.
You go, oh, I got to go there for a friend. I made plans with my friends. And listen, you can back out, but like, do you make time for your friends where you go, hey, yeah, I got to go to this friend thing?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like if reversing the situation, if I'm the current, let's say it's a guy who's doing this, I'm the current girlfriend, and he's like, my ex was my friend group, and then she asked me to go to this wedding, and then she said that was her making a move, and so I'm keeping the friendship open. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why do you need this? It's a
Right.
fake, and also it's not a real friendship.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the
I feel like
sham
you're
is
keeping
done.
this option open so that if we break up, you can go have sex with this person.
Right. And here's
date this person.
she is at a point in life where this happens. I have been in those friendships with the ex, the one that kind of ended, that fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys just do coffee and you talk about your dating life and it's fun. You're
There's
Sex
still like
in the
a little
City,
bit of a thing,
a little bit of a
Right,
flirt,
yeah.
and oh, you never, that type of relationship. They end. That person gets married. That person has kids. That person spends holidays in both places. They're not doing the night before Thanksgiving bar crawl anymore because they're at the in-laws' place.
Right.
You don't see them at these moments, so they stop being a part of your life in a way that's honestly them not trying to be a part of their life. They're just there. Like all these events that she says that she spends with them are kind of by circumstance.
Yeah. And I also think that she has romanticized the idea of him.
Right.
Like you said, kind of like what you were saying about the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Where it's like in her mind, it's like, oh, we had this college relationship. We were so in love and then we broke up, but I always knew he would come back. And
Right.
then eventually he'd want to be with me. And look, he like has. And it seems like something that happened in a movie. And as soon as I got a new boyfriend, he realized that he was in love with me. And like, it's again, that's like how the movies play out, but they never show you what happens after the person like dumps the current boyfriend and goes back to the ex, which is that they're not that into it.
Right.
It's kind of like the plot of Sweet Home Alabama.
Is it? This is Sweet Home South Bend. I mean, yeah, and here's the other problem. And I was thinking about this last week, and the reason she can still romanticize this is because you can still check in with each other. Like she never closed the door completely. Yeah. They never had a dumping. It was always, the distance. You want your first girlfriend. Yeah. It's all convenient. And this is why breakups are key. This is why unsubscribing on social media is key. When you can nicely look in someone's window on Instagram and go, oh, hey, what are you up to? Fire emoji, here's a match. It always feels like they're there and they never have to really drop everything to come knock at your door.
Right.
Like this guy was asked you to the wedding through the window. He's hanging out with you through the window. He never had to go to the front door and go, knock, knock, knock. I've thought about my life without you. I've felt my life without you. I want to go back into this. And that's kind of that's the link social media awards people who are just
They could be
holding on to
half in.
options. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 100% the option thing, because like if he was really her friend, as she's saying, that she thought they were friends, he would have come to the party.
Right.
But that's not.
He's not a friend.
Yeah, he's not her friend.
Yeah, he would have came to the party. He would have went up to the boyfriend. Hey, nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you. Great. Great to finally put a face with a name.
Yeah, he's not your friend. He's using her. But I also
and she's using him.
Fine. But I think he's using her more because like she had made her. I think like it sounds like she had made her intentions relatively clear before that she was like open to dating him when she thought something might happen the summer before.
I'm not absolving her completely.
I'm just saying I think it's like an ego thing for him too, is knowing that she's there, that she's into him, that she would get back with him if he wanted.
Right. I do agree with that, but I also want to make sure it's said that like when he said, I think it would go too fast, so it's a no, she needed to pack up her shit and go.
Yeah, she should have.
But I'm saying like, you know, so, and then she left a couple shirts and some underwear at the house. Right? She goes, oh, I got to like back up a little bit, but I'll leave a shirt. I'll leave some underwear. I'll leave some shoes.
And we have this great friendship.
And now we're friends. Yeah. And now she's sitting in something that she won't admit she doesn't like.
Right. Or that he's not a real friend.
Right. So I feel for her because it's kind of hard to like let this go. I do understand. Like, it's hard to be like, I think the hardest part about this is like going with your current boyfriend and feeling excited that he's the one. It's like it does feel very backup planish.
Well, it's kind of like, because in this case with these like historical long-standing like previous exes or dating people, again, it's like romanticized to where you've told yourself the story. So it feels like more than just like I'm losing this guy as a friend. It's like I'm losing the story I've been telling myself sort of like since we started dating, or since we originally broke up, that like eventually he would come back and we would just get married.
Well, right. But you know, if this was the movie, this would be the disappointing ending.
Yeah.
This would be an ending that you go, I don't know, it felt like they were going to get together.
Right. Maybe she should. Yeah. Right. You know, he comes to, they're getting married and he comes and says, you know, he objects to the wedding.
Right.
Like, but that's why the movies aren't real.
But that's why my advice to her is to break up with him.
With the current boyfriend?
No.
Or with the ex-boyfriend?
The ex-boyfriend. Okay,
yeah.
I think this is like, we talked about this before about breakups, and they don't have to be with your boyfriend. Yeah. You need a breakup of whatever this is. I don't know. It's not a friendship. It's not a boyfriend, but you need to like remove yourself from each other in a way that, yeah, you're going to see each other at parties. That's going to be awkward. That's life. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you need an ending to this so that you can have the
real relationship.
The real movie.
Yeah. Right.
Because I would, if she just like kind of like fizzles off from this guy, I would understand where she's like, I guess I just like fell back onto like, you kind of have to like...
Yeah, nothing gives you like closure and excitement like actually closing a book.
Right.
On something in the past.
And it's, you know, when they say like, you know, there's a lot of motivational speakers like where they'll like talk about like the idea of like going into whatever your passion is or whatever your thing is with no parachute. He's a parachute that she's been holding on to for all these years.
Right. And it's stopping her probably from getting fully into this new relationship.
Right. And from, I would think, and for me, this would be the case, feeling like this new relationship's special.
Right.
Like, because you're walking down the aisle and you still haven't broken up with that guy. Right.
Well, yeah.
He's still kind of a friend who moved away and needed a new girlfriend. You know, like it's all in the land of...
And those things become more romantic the more you leave them half open. The more they're like, oh, the one, like it could have been. If you don't end it, then it has this like long-standing kind of like half where, you know, there's like a spark like lingering there, and that can feel like romantic in its own way. Like that's more romantic than like you said, the main quarterback, the ins and the outs of the everyday with the person who's an actually committed partner.
Right. It's you know, the one that got away thing. I don't think of anyone I broke up with as the one that got away.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like where I had a definitive breakup.
Yeah.
The ones I go, what, or the ones with no ending.
Right.
The ones I go, we never really had,
Right. Whatever happened there?
Whatever happened there.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the ones you think about. I don't think you think about the breakups, in my opinion.
Do you ever message those people?
No, I'm not a messenger. I'm not a no.
Have you ever thought about messaging those people?
I'm no Adam Levine.
Have you ever thought about messaging those people?
You do and then you don't.
Right.
You do. I'm sure you've thought. I think everyone's thought of like, what would I even? You don't know. I mean, those people are like married with kids too. Like they didn't stop life. They're
don't
not.
Message them.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be respectful.
Remember that time we went out? It was fun.
Right. Remember that one date we had?
If they were single,
it would be a different story, but that's not the story.
Right.
And no, but it's not even, and I'm not sitting here, by phone light, tears down my cheeks, like
refreshing there. I mean, that's
right.
like sort of the Mark Zuckerberg, the ending of the Social Network, where he just keeps refreshing the ex's Facebook page.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's like the very last scene, and you have him like in front of his computer with the girlfriend, like from the movie.
Yeah.
That breaks up with him because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, keeps refreshing her page.
Hey.
And that's what I dream of anyone who's dumped me doing.
Jordana's dream scenario is a miserable man.
Yeah.
Hitting refresh
on my Instagram page.
That's
over
right.
And over.
Well, I think we helped this person.
I think so. Break up with him. I think that was the crux of the summary.
The ex.
Yes, the ex, not the current one.
As weird as that advice sounds,
yes.
I think that's where we are. Well, we solved dating again. We did it, Jordana.
We did it. We'll be back on Wednesday with more.
Boom.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.